Haven't you ever asked yourself where you were before this world, what you were, and why God, blessed and exalted, created you into this world? Were you created randomly, or were you created for a purpose? And if you were created for a purpose, what is the purpose for which you were created? If you look at all of humanity, all the people, especially in the crowded markets, you might say, do all these people have a purpose for which they were created? For a moment, you might say or feel that there is no benefit or use from the abundance of humanity. We see them dying from diseases, being killed in the streets, or dying from an overdose of drugs in one way or another, as if humanity has no purpose. The truth is, you determine the value of your purpose the more you are aware, understanding and comprehending of the purpose for which you were created. In truth, you have accomplished something. You have revealed the true essence of your existence and what your value is among these humans. The people around you may all have precious and valuable goals, but they might be unaware of them. As for you, know that you have a purpose and a noble value. Do you have a message? God Almighty placed you in this world with a message that you must deliver. What is the message? Certainly you must know this message. You might ask, how can I know this message? How can I realize that this work is my life's message? I tell you simply, search for it. Do not remain silent. Do not stand still. Do not hesitate. Instead, search. Do I have a message? What is my message? Do I have a task to perform? God Almighty sends signals to all His servants daily. It might be through a word from a child. It might be through the tongue of a machine. It might be through the movement of a bird, or it might be through other things as the universe sends you signals. Beware of harming God's creation. God did not create beings to be harmed. On the contrary, if you see a person broken, the remedy for their brokenness might be through a gesture, a look, a word, or it might be through silence or a hidden act. Always be considerate of God's creation. Do good for the sake of God Almighty, for God sees you even if people do not. He rewards you beyond what you can imagine. Do not say in your decision and self, I do not benefit him, or I am of no use. Do not view yourself as insignificant. Know that an insect destroyed the kingdom of darkness. An insect entered the ear of one who claimed divinity on earth, who ruled and tyrannized. Nimrod was brought down by a weak insect with a single wing, and thrones and a kingdom were toppled by an insect. You might be that light that destroys the darkness. And with a single insect, all the will and power of God, blessed and exalted, was manifested. That was Moses, when he said, My God, who will care for my family after my death? The prophet Moses, peace be upon him, said, Who will care for my family after my death? God told him, Go to the Nile. He went to the Nile, sat on the bank of the Nile, and there was an insect with food in its mouth. And the frog came and climbed onto it. God split the sea for Moses with the staff. He followed the frog, which had an insect in its mouth, and descended to the bottom of the sea. There he found a rock, went under the rock, and there was a beneficial insect for another insect. The insect said to the other one, This is your food. The blind insect lifted under the deaf rock and said, O you who do not forget me, how can you forget all of your creatures? I ask God for success and guidance for everyone, by the right of Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. O God, bless Muhammad and the family of Muhammad.